After the signal, you will see One World Trade Center. This was where the Twin Towers were before. And during 9/11, when it came down, everything came crashing down over here. And this area basically is known as Winter Gardens. This area is known as Winter Gardens. यहाँ Twin Towers हुआ करता था. We are going to that memorial. You can't take a right over here. You can't take a left over here. You have to take a right and then come in. And that's what they are building over here. They have built 9 buildings over here. Of course, they've respected and they have shifted. They have shifted the site of the new buildings, and where the Twin Towers were, that's where the memorial is. And it's very sacred. You are not supposed to laugh over there. It's a very sad thing. So that's where we'll be going first. So if you look on the right hand side, you'll see these people standing over there. That's where the first tower was, and another tower was over here. So these were where the 2 twin towers were before they came down. Over here. We'll be coming back over here. And you see this, I'll show it to you when we go over there, that albatross kind of a design. That's where the subway station is. And this is the One World Trade Center. Yes, this is the new one that has come up. There is an observatory on the top. Listen to me, you have to stay with the group, okay? If you lose, you know where to come? No, na? So stay with the group.
You'll come to World Trade Center. You'll come to World Trade Center.
Okay. Okay, all yours. Sure.
So first I'm going to briefly introduce myself while I look. My name is Deborah, and I know you've had a fantastic time with Noshir. We're going to... Yes, Deborah. Somebody just said Deborah. Okay. Should have done this before. I'm sorry. Can't do this at the same. Stupid. What I want to show you is a photograph of what was here at the World Trade Center site before, and I will show that to you, okay? Right now you're at One World Trade. I'm sure you've seen all kinds of wonderful things in your long trip together. What we're going to do now is take a brief look at the water features, the waterfalls here at the World Trade Center site. We're on the northern edge here. The reason I'm talking to you on the amplifier here is when we cross the street, I cannot amplify my voice, okay? That is a grave site. It wasn't just Americans, it wasn't just New Yorkers. People from all over the world lost their lives that day. About 50,000 people worked in the 2 buildings that were previously here on that site, and almost 3,000 died that day. I can't believe how long ago it was. Give me a second to show you the photo here. So we're going to cross the street and see what they have done with this site. I don't know if you use acres or hectares. I only know acres. This site, we're going to see a little corner of the 16-acre site where these 50,000 people had worked until that day. Now, I'd like to show this to you because as people coming from another country, maybe some of you have been here on previous trips or on business, you might say, oh, the lady's showing us all these tall buildings and these pretty waterfalls. But you have to know what it looked like after planes hit the towers. There was debris all over, or tower number 2. They were twin towers, so they are structurally identical. Did that help to know what was there? Yeah. Good, thank you. I'm not going to show a lot more photos, okay? So, basically we're going to cross onto this Memorial Plaza, and we're going to look at the parapets that surround the waterfall. just going to walk along one edge of it. Remember, there are twin towers, okay? We're going to look at the names, and you'll experience that 30-foot drop of water. And then what you're going to say is, Deborah, where does the water go in the little hole in the middle? That's part of the design. It's called the void. We do have some children here. I hope they have not experienced any major loss, but those of us who have experienced loss know that it feels like the person is just gone. And that's the feeling that this void gives you. So, you'll notice when you look at the names, they are not alphabetical. This isn't like a database. They created an algorithm of proximity, and they asked people, oh, did Joey have lunch every day with each other? Okay, now if we see a rose, a white rose, I haven't been over there today, that means today is that person's birthday. You'll have a million more questions, but I know we have limited time, so let's take a look. And you'll also see in the distance a modern building that sticks up, and I'll talk about that later. But let's go look at our Memorial Plaza.
Don't stand.
Is that the wall?
This was this person's birthday. That's why the white rose. Indian.
And I guess we can walk. Go ahead to our... And so this is number one. It has the observatory. Number two is under construction. It will not be a twin. It's going to be a completely different kind of building. Where the original twin towers were, those were twin towers. They were the same. So this is number one. They're still working on number two, 22 years later or something. This is number three with the bracing on the outside, and that's number four by a Japanese architect, and I love how it fades into the sky. So right now, 5 and 6, we all work on Zoom. You don't need as much office space, but they're in the works. And I'm sure you've heard the expression that the Earth is a big blue marble floating in the sky. And of course you get lovely reflection you're a child, you play with marbles as a game. The other Jack does not have hands. That gesture of the crossed arms and the fist in sign language, that's the symbol for love. So we have ourselves reflected in the world, and we have play and love. It's a nice sculpture. The governor of New York had made a speech after this horrible event took place. He said, and we will build a Freedom Tower. He even had a cornerstone made of stone. Then they built a modern steel building. Modern steel buildings do not have cornerstones. Also, if you happen to be from a place that doesn't like, quote, American freedom, what better building to hit than the Freedom Tower? Don't call it that, okay? We call it One World Trade. Okay? Yeah, straight. So I think we're off the... And did you have questions about the... And I guess we can walk. Go ahead to our... It goes. Okay. Nice to meet this lovely group of people. The microphone is less lovely than you are. It's been troublesome, I understand. For those who couldn't hear me outside, I'm still Deborah. I was a redhead. I became more red 2 days ago. When I went to India in 2012, I was photographing the pictures of the lovely ladies in the beautiful saris, and they were photographing pictures of the freckled redheaded person. So, am I still on, or I am? So I went to India 2012 saying yes like this. I came home from India 2012 saying so I love to have you. And I know you've been enjoying a bit of New York. I know that travel can be disorienting, and New York itself can also be very disorienting. And I'm sure that Noshir has told you many, many important things. I should answer your questions about the site. Just let me do that first before I give you an overview of Manhattan. Let me do that. So you got to see the names, and I did have a question, I believe from this gentleman. Why did they only build one? They built two identical, but we went to visit one. Okay, we went to see one of the twins. 16-acre site, but I didn't know the hectares. Okay. So, did you see the thing with the wings that stick up?
Yes.
It's the white thing with the wings that stick up. You saw the photo of how horrible it was here after the attack, after the buildings collapsed that day of September 11, 2001. Yes? No, there it is. Okay. I can't tell if it's my paranoia or the equipment. So they wanted to build a transportation hub to bring business back into... Oh, there it is, there it is. It's called the Oculus, and of course that's from the word for eye. It doesn't look like anything like an eye to us.